here's a question for you. Is marriage overrated?
Why aren't people getting married anymore?
A new Pew Research poll found that 2 in 5 young adults think marriage is an outdated tradition.
Marriage rates are at their lowest right now.
Is marriage really even worth it?
More than half of marriages end in divorce.
If you get married, you have to be stuck with this person for the rest of your life, right? That's why you get married. So that's why it's declining. Why would you get married if you want to have just one partner when you can have multiple?
Marriage is stupid.
Welcome to the Married AF podcast, the self-proclaimed greatest marriage and relationship podcast in the world. My name is Matthew Powers, alongside my beautiful wife, Monica. We are your hosts for the show today, and we have a special guest with us who, if you're watching on YouTube, you're going to love it. He is crawling on the desk. He's all over the place. He won't want to leave things alone. He is a new addition to our family, our Rhodesian Ridgeback 12-week-old T'Challa. T'Challa, how you doing?
I think he's good because his tail's about to hit
his
me. His
tail's wagging. He is just licking my fingers. He's up on top of the desk, and he is going to be the show today. For all the dog people who are out there, you're very, very happy. Please don't poop on my desk. That'd be awful. Hey, bud, how you doing, man? He's like, I'm good. I'm getting rubs. Things are great in life. So T'Challa, tell the world hello. Nope, he's just gonna look at me. Gonna look at me like, who is this bozo? So we have a new addition to the family. T'Challa, the first week was a rough one, but
regretted every decision about getting a puppy.
Absolutely, we did. But we okay with him now. He is a sweetheart. He loves to cuddle. He doesn't do normal puppy behavior.
No, he doesn't.
But he's been an awesome addition to the family. The kids love him. The kids are happy. It's been a long time coming. So T'Challa, welcome. I'm sure all the people will love you as well. Thank you to all those who watch, who listen, who subscribe, who like, who review, who send messages, all of that stuff. Let us know what you think of old T'Challa here. He is hanging out.
Well, if you don't know, I'm sure I've gotten the response of, what's a Rhodesian Ridgeback?
All right, so the Rhodesian Ridgeback is known as the African lion hunter, and they were bred for farmers in Africa to keep the lions away from their farms and their livestock. And that's what they do. They help keep the lions at bay. The color is wheat, I think is the name of the color. And it's to be able to blend in with the grass. One cool thing about them, the reason they're called the Rhodesian Ridgeback or the Zimbabwe Zipperback, is they have a line of hair along their back spine, and it grows in the opposite direction. And it's just the coolest thing. They're great dogs. They're very, very smart. He's going to be a big boy, about 95 pounds, we've been told.
Now, when he gets to 95 pounds, he will not be able to sit on the desk in front of me
I hope he won't be able to sit on the desk in front of us.
He will probably want to. But he is so not a puppy.
No, he likes to sleep.
Nature.
He likes to cuddle.
He's a cuddler. I mean, he likes watches.
He does like to eat watches. He loves to just jump up on the couch and lay down with you, put his head up against you, and just chill. Like Cash has been playing video games, and T'Challa just lays there with him for hours and just hangs out. So welcome, T'Challa.
Well, his name is King T'Challa Powers, but because he is a purebred, he is DNA confirmed 100% Rhodesian Ridgeback.
Yes.
And
what you doing, man?
So when you have a registered dog with the AKC, you need to go with the naming of your mom, I think it's. So Mystic is his mom's name, and the breeder, Emma, she is at World Class Kennels in Harpersville, Alabama. So if anybody's looking for a Rhodesian Ridgeback,
she's the place to go.
Yes, please look Emma Marshall up at World Class Kennels in Harpersville.
Yep.
Harpersville, Alabama. Unbelievable. Just takes such good care of the puppies and her Rhodesian Ridgebacks that she used to show. T'Challa's dad is a 21-time champion. I mean, he's got some good blood, but he just is the sweetest, most
super sweet,
not puppy-like. Besides in
he has his play time, but
playing that he does, but he is so unbelievable. And since we did all the research front, back, up, down, sideways on the breed of dog we were getting. We had never heard of a Rhodesian Ridgeback. We watched all kinds of YouTube videos, research, what was this Rhodesian Ridgeback, because they popped up when we were looking for a low maintenance type of dog, but a good guard dog, doesn't shed, and we found them. And his name for AKC, since they were going with a mayhem, I guess, theme.
Yep.
He is Minion Mayhem.
Yes.
Registered name is Minion
Minion
Mayhem.
Mayhem. Elkie's favorite thing at Universal, the Minions. So we went Minion Mayhem.
So
didn't we, buddy?
The name T'Challa, I don't know if anybody watches, but you can see that he has a bandana on. It says Wakanda Forever. Our son Cash, his favorite movie of the Marvels is Black Panther. And in love and respect out of
Chadwick Boseman
and Black Panther, we named him T'Challa.
King
T'Challa.
King T'Challa. So welcome, King T'Challa. You can't just hang out here all day.
But it works
Hoss?
because he's from Africa, so it was made it even perfect.
It works. So
Come here, buddy.
we'll see you later, big guy. He's going to go hang out with Cash while Cash goes and plays some video games. So we're not going to be all about the pup and all about the dog today.
Wait a minute. What are you doing?
I mean, he doesn't want to go anywhere at all.
Sorry, bud. It is what it is. Go see Cash.
It is what it is over there. So nothing to do with dogs today, but I do have something else good for you.
What you got?
You have not heard these. They're going to drive you insane. There's a
boy.
lot of truth to some of this stuff, but this is an article I found. And these are things that women do that drive men crazy. I'll let you know how I feel about some of them.
I can't wait to see if I do any of those things.
We will see. So, first one.
Now, who are these men that they drive crazy?
Just
like in general?
Just in general, a bunch
Not
of men,
spouses or
spouses, not spouses,
Okay.
just men in general. They're asked, "Hey, what are things that women do that drive you nuts?"
Okay.
These were the most common responses.
Is this in a relationship or just period?
Period.
Oh.
Relationships, not
Oh.
relationships. First one, and I am totally on board with this one. Not saying you do it, but I do know women who do.
Okay.
And this drives men insane. And never wanting to do anything. Me asking, "Hey, what would you like to do?" Her response, "No, that sounds boring." Okay, how about this? "No, I don't want to do that either." Me, "Okay, what would you like to do?" Her response, "I don't know, whatever you want to do." That is the most, I don't want to say the most, but that is
It's very annoying.
stereotypical woman answer. It's like the restaurant in like Greenville, Alabama that we've passed by before. And the name of the restaurant is I Don't Care. Because always the response is, "Hey,
I
what do you
don't
want for
care."
dinner?" "Oh, I don't care. Whatever
Okay,
you
well,
want."
let's go to Taco Bell. Ooh, I don't want Taco Bell. Then don't say I don't care.
Let's go have Italian dinner. "Oh, I don't want Italian dinner." "All right, well, let's go eat burgers." "I don't want burgers." So that restaurant's called I
Well,
Don't
then what
Care.
do you want? I don't care.
But
Fine,
this is-
we'll go there.
This is insanely aggravating.
It
for
happens
anybody.
for restaurants, a movie, just actually going out to do something. We're not that way.
No.
Because we are those go-go people, but we also want to be together all the time.
It is, and I've said it plenty of times before. Just I'd rather spend time with you than really doing anything else.
Yeah.
I would rather go to Joann's Fabric with you
That you
than-
absolutely despise.
than sit at home and do something by myself, because I prefer to spend time with you. And I don't hate a lot of things.
Mostly because I spend hours there and
Yeah,
I don't even have to buy anything.
It wouldn't be bad if it was a good 15-minute in and out, but literally, we'll spend hours there. I hate going there, but I'm with you. And whenever it comes to us in situations like this, we do give that response like, "It doesn't matter to me, whatever you want." But you know what that's followed up with? "Okay, well, we're doing this, or I'm ordering this, or we're going to go have this, or I've got this, or that." And you know what? Absolutely, we're on board with
But
it.
we
Because
also know each other so well that when we do that, there will be times where vice versa, whether either of us go, "Hey, what are we doing for dinner?" The other will say, "Oh, I've already got dinner. It's already taken care of." not even questioning what dinner is. We trust the other one to know what we like. And you know they're going to get you what you like. They're not going to give you broccoli and cheese. You would never give me broccoli and cheese.
Not in a billion years, but you would get me broccoli.
I would get
because
you
I love
broccoli.
broccoli.
If you want to eat that smelly stuff, go for it.
And that's just understanding and knowing each other. But also, whenever we say, "Oh, it doesn't matter to me, whatever you want," we truly mean that. Like, I don't necessarily want anything, or it doesn't matter what we watch, or it doesn't matter where we go or what we get. Whatever you think is best. And I'll even say a lot of the times, because you'll say, "Okay, well, I'm going to do this. What would you like?" Surprise me. And I fully mean that. Surprise me, because I know that you're going to look out for me, which kind of leads me to number 2, which kind of follows along the same thing, is when women take no initiative. Like, they don't take any initiative in any type of decision making. It goes along with the, I don't know, I don't want to do that, I don't care, whatever you want, but also not taking the initiative, which is something you do well. You're an Enneagram 8. You're the challenger. You don't mind to grab the bull by the horns and just like go.
I welcome it.
Absolutely. So you do take initiative. I can't relate to that at all, but I do know that is.
I see
that
where
is a
it
thing.
would be completely annoying. And I do know someone, this is a hilarious story, that did take initiative on their honeymoon, but had no idea that he couldn't necessarily swim very well.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
And he was, "I'm not scuba diving. I'm not doing that."
It's funny.
I mean, I think it was snorkeling or something. I've got to get them on the show. And I've told him about this. I said, I want you to tell me that story, and I want to watch her face when she's reliving this moment, because he said it almost ended up in divorce and they were only just married.
We're going to have to make that happen. But that's
Eric
another
and
one.
Please. Drake, please.
When
You
women
will
take.
be on this podcast one day.
We do want to hear that story.
Because Drake has the best
He tells
stories.
he tells great stories.
Absolutely
very
incredible.
funny, very in-depth stories.
Animated. It's so fantastic. But the time that she did take the initiative and surprise him with something, it was horrible.
She's probably traumatized and she doesn't take
She
any
doesn't do
initiative
anything.
anymore.
And maybe that's why most women don't take initiative.
And it could be, but again, that's something you got to talk about it. Because from the man's standpoint, yes, we want you to take control sometimes. We want you to have an opinion. We want to hear from you, because mostly men, we do want to hear from you. We want to know what your thoughts are, know what your opinion is. Yes, there are men who are complete a-holes and think that they run the world and that everything goes through them and what their final word says. A real man does not feel that way. We have our opinions and we want to lead, but we want to hear from those who are closest to us and those who we trust to also be able to get input, because we understand we don't always have all the answers, and we know that we are better together. We want to hear from you women. The third one, when they assume they understand my intentions or motivations because, in air quotes, they know how men think, or otherwise claim to be exceedingly perspective or intuitive. Even if it's true, believing or acting on those take things away from my ability to express my thoughts and feelings in a given matter. It really grinds my gears.
Grinds mine too. All I thought about when you said that was back to when you made me listen to that talk show.
The View?
That
The men
said
are men useless?
Mm-hmm. You're making your man useless.
Mm-hmm.
You know what happens when you assume? And if you don't know, please, with all those things that you do on those little short videos, assume. ASS.
Out of you.
U. M-E.
And it's exactly true. That's exactly what happens when you assume. So it's important to talk to each other. Communication. This next one is probably number one top of my list. And this is not necessarily a woman thing. Yes, women do it. It's not necessarily a spousal thing. Men do it also. But it's also just people in general.
Okay.
When you're talking to them and they reply, Oh my gosh, that's so funny. While they're occupied with their phones, not laughing or smiling. So having a conversation, you say something, say, oh my gosh, baby, that's so funny. Not even look up and continue. This one, like, I'm going to grab your phone. I'm going to throw it as far as I can. Now, my arm isn't what it used to be. It may not go far, and I may hurt later.
Practice. Yeah.
But dadgummit, this one drives me insane.
We have talked about this on previous episodes.
We have.
Look up. But I've shared with you that this week at school, I was asked, was I married? I said yes. And then I'd been married for 16 years, but we've been together for 25. They were floored, blown away. And they asked, these are juniors and seniors in high school, that asked, why have you been married so long? My answer was straight up easy, because he is everything that I'm not and makes me so much better. They didn't, whoa, Coach Powers, that's deep. It's true. The next day, they asked about cell phones, and I got to get my mind right. I said, you want me to tell you how do you get your mind right? Leave your phone somewhere. Get rid of it. Because how many times have you had a conversation with somebody where you're doing this? Right? And you have no idea what that person is saying.
Test them with that. Like, you're having a conversation with someone that you're just talking about them, and just make up something off the wall.
I do that all the time.
Crazy. Like, yeah, you won't believe this, but
the building's on fire.
The building's currently on fire, and I'm going to go jump out of an airplane right now.
Oh my God, that's so funny.
Yeah, there's a rhinoceros right behind you about to attack. Say something stupid.
Did you see that unicorn right there?
And they're going to give you the same, oh my gosh, yes, because it's conditioned for this. In the words of Ferris Bueller, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. We have our heads so far dug into our phones, you're going to miss everything that's important. Number 5, the next one. When they demand princess treatment, but do not reciprocate anything. I can't treat you like a queen if you don't let me be your king. Ooh. Entitlement is a turnoff. Someone who acts entitled to your affection, your time, and your money while offering up little to nothing in return.
Couldn't have been said better.
I love this because it's so, I can't treat you like a queen if you don't let me be your king.
We've talked about this.
And that's true. I do treat you like a queen because you are, but you also treat me like a king. And it works both ways, and that's when the relationship works.
Right. We have also said marriage is not 50-50.
Never.
There's going to be some days I treat you way better than you treat me that day because it's an off day. I'm here to lift you up, and vice versa, where you do the same for me. I mean, I could not literally move the left side for months. You don't have hair, but you were blow drying mine.
Dang right, and I did a great job.
You did. How can you expect to be treated like a queen if you ain't got a king?
You can't. You can't.
Come on, women.
Come on. Be better. Be better. Here's another one where it seems like they own the place or can do whatever they want, even if it bothers other people, like being loud, rude, demanding attention from everybody, but mostly not respecting others. And I get that. And there is this sense
I can't stand those people either.
No. Well, and there are people
male
who
or female
walk into the room and they own the room. Not intentionally, but that's just their personality. That's just who they are. But they don't do it at the expense of other people. I totally understand and totally get this, that it's a complete turn off. It will drive you absolutely insane. You don't want anything to do with that.
Get off your phone. You go into a store and you're with somebody else and you are loud in that conversation.
Talking on speakerphone or on FaceTime. Now, I've FaceTimed in the store before, but I do this. I'm like, hey, baby, which one is it? Because I don't know.
Acceptable. but not the whole dang conversation.
I
Why
hate that.
do you need to share your business with everybody?
It's not that they want to share their business with everybody.
need to be seen.
They need to be seen, and they need to try and get attention from other
They
people.
have zero joy in their life.
Yeah, so they're out there seeking it from,
Attention in ways that they never needed.
and even when it's bad attention, they don't want it. Clearly, this one talks about all their past relationships. You know, this would be for me, and luckily I have not had to experience it because I've had you for 25 years. But I know for sure for me that and I do this when hiring people, I want to see how they speak about their previous employer. If I were dating someone, I would want to hear not all the details, but I would pay close attention to how they talk about their past relationships. Because if every past relationship, they're throwing someone under the bus and they're talking about how horrible they were, that is ding, 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 red flag for me. I want no part of this.
Absolutely.
It's eventually a them problem. You know, Taylor Swift, I've said it before, she has all these exes and oh, poor Taylor Swift. Eventually, it's a you problem. Eventually, you got to look in the mirror and you got your own problems, your own things you need to deal with, or you're never going to be able to find what you're looking for. But how people talk about their ex-relationships, if you're hiring people, their previous employers, if I hire someone and they're dogging their previous employer, I don't want it. I don't want it at all. Now, I understand things go bad and people make horrible mistakes and those past relationships may be terrible, but it doesn't need to get into the nitty gritty of why and just kind of keep piling on that past person. That is something, it's a huge red flag for me.
Well, and also if you're talking about your past and constantly bringing up the past, how are you supposed to move forward?
You can't.
Because you're stuck on what has happened over here when you're not focusing on what's right in front of you. So what's the point of even having a relationship? Get out of your situationships.
Them situationships. Short and infrequent texts. Okay, I get it, he says. I'll buzz off then. I'm not going to carry the relationship and you're clearly not head over heels, meaning, and I get this, you send a long text message or conversation and it's just short little one-word answers. Clearly you're not all that interested in it. Now I know one for me, one text that I can't stand getting, K.
There's a thumbs up.
There is. I'd rather a thumbs up. When you get a K in return, something's up. You know, something's gone down. Something's not good. When you say something and someone responds just a K, oh no.
Don't even respond.
Oh no.
I would rather have me left unread. Not that I have that turned on.
Yeah, I don't either.
But K, you forgot about something. You doing something that you shouldn't be.
K.
You responding to get this off your screen so somebody else doesn't see it.
And that's it. This next one I think is probably one of the bigger problems that we see today. Getting their relationship expectations from social media.
No. Oh, I saw this on TikTok. You know, we should have totally do this.
Yes.
You know where she found it? Or how she found it? When you were telling her that funny joke.
And she was constantly scrolling like,
oh my God, that was so funny.
Look at this. Yeah. This is so true and we forget that social media is the highlight reel. It's not real life at all. It is strictly the highlight reel. It's everything that was perfect about that little situation. You know, when you see the family pictures of everyone and they're dressed so perfect and the sun's setting perfectly and everyone looks their best, they're smiling so big.
They're all matching outfit.
That is the one picture that was gotten in the
45.
In the 2 hours it took to get people like that while they're screaming, while they're yelling, while they're crying, they're fighting and they're dirty. You're about to get a divorce all because of it. That's the reality of it. And us all to put on this perfect picture of what it should look like. We cannot get our expectations from what's going on in social media because it is not real life.
You just have to also watch who you're following.
Yes. Fix that algorithm. Watch out who you're following.
Because do you really want to live their life? No. Probably not, because you have no idea what's really going on.
Yeah, whoever you're following and you think it looks perfect, it's all a lie. I can promise you that. Just a couple more here. When they are rude to waiters. Total mood killer for me. If I see that, it has to be a bad day or something, or I'm out.
You should get out immediately.
Yes.
Because anybody that's going to complain to somebody that has 100% control of your food, you have screwed up.
Oh, yeah. Watch the movie Waiting. Watch what happens when
I
you're
was a
rude.
waitress. I know exactly what happens. And that was in my BC life.
Yeah.
You piss me off at a table, and me and the cook, we're on good terms. I take your plate back to the cook. You want to know what she said?
About your
it
food?
Makes me think of True Blood.
Yes. With Lafayette?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man.
Here's your burger. Hold the AIDS. Because he was gay.
Yep.
Oh, my gosh. You don't do things like that.
I totally agree
You
with
will
this.
come back with a lot of stuff that you don't know what you're eating in your food.
You most certainly will.
You will never know.
No.
Or it makes me think of The Help.
Yes.
With the pie?
The pie, the chocolate pie.
Eat my...
Great scene.
Oh, man. Octavia Spencer, I love you.
It was so great. But I told you can't be rude to, you shouldn't be rude to any type of service staff at all.
Period.
Yeah. Is something going to mess up everything? Yes, absolutely it will.
No one's perfect.
It most certainly
How many
will.
times have you messed up?
Plenty.
And that's probably why you out getting something to eat.
Plenty. So don't be rude to people. Be kind to people. Mistakes happen. I think overall people want to do a good job at whatever they do, and they will make it right. All you got to do is be aware and just tell them and be kind about it.
And sometimes if you're going to be a bitty about it, you're going to get something in your food. But if you're over the top nice about it, you might get a little extra something.
Yeah, just a
Hey,
simple.
here comes dessert on the house.
Yeah, just a simple. Hey, this isn't necessarily what I ordered. I got this. Could I possibly? You know what? Easy, done. So that's a big one. I got two more for you.
Okay.
Playing hard to get. When women play hard to get, they're playing that game that honestly no man wants to play. No man wants to play the game of chasing.
Did they give examples?
No. Just that whole playing hard to get, like, yes, I'm interested. No, now I'm not. And yes, I'm interested. No, now I'm not. And oh, I've got the dates over here and I got this going on over here, and just acting as if they're not really interested, but they really are interested, but they want to make you keep chasing because that's a stupid game that no one wants to play. No one got time for that.
I feel that happens more now in today's world than it might have when we were younger.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, because
Because-
everyone's looking for the next best thing.
Exactly. You have situationships instead of relationships. You always have the next person lined up.
Always.
And so the reason why they're playing hard to get is because you probably are the next one in line. And they want to make sure they can get you when that situation they're currently in is done.
Yeah. Unfortunately, it's known as the DOD. The dong on deck. Last one.
Can we just...
What?
What in the world? DOD.
They're setting up that next man, that dong on deck. Next batter up.
Am I that naive or sheltered? I did not know what that is.
Maybe, maybe not. I think that was a Covino and Rich term back in the day.
Okay.
The DOD, the dong on deck. Write that down.
Thank you, Covino and Rich.
Last one. Every man will totally agree with this, and you totally will too.
Oh, boy.
When they flirt and give their attention to other men, and when caught, try to pretend like it was harmless and we're overreacting, which will sometimes cause us to really ponder on if we were overreacting or not. Why is it that women will flirt with other men in front of their man? Why does that happen?
I don't know. I can safely say I have maybe done that 2 or 3 times. But that was also in our
Awful
hardcore
stages.
BC life where I'm going to have my cake and eat it too.
Right. And do you think that's where it comes from?
For me, I don't have an answer because with you, I have everything I needed. So mine was strictly for spite. I can't answer for other women. I could see where they would do it to make their husbands jealous and see them desirable, that another man might want to have something to do with them.
See, and I could see that happening too. I could see because
they're not getting that attention they want from their husband,
so they're
going to seek it from somebody else.
And that is a reality. Like if we don't give our spouses attention, they're totally going to find it in other places.
Mm-hmm.
Hence, we need to respect and pay attention to our spouses. I can see where a woman would say, well, I'm going to make him realize he's got something and flirt a little bit.
But you also have to realize some women just flirt constantly.
Well, men hate it.
Well, you need to let your woman know that you see, that's what you see, and you don't like it.
And if she loves you and respects you,
she's going to
she'll
make sure
she'll
that's
realize
not,
that
yeah.
and make sure it never happens again, which is all we can ask for.
Right.
And everyone's allowed a mistake like this, especially. You talk about it and you move past it. It's the best way to do it.
Easy enough.
So the things that men or women do that drive men insane.
Was that supposed to be a man?
Of
because
course.
those things drive me crazy too.
I think anyone who...
You just said, of course, to me being a man.
No.
I was processing different things in my head
You
when I
were.
said.
No, you're definitely not a man.
I said, was that supposed to be a man?
I can
Of course.
I can vouch for that.
Wait a
No,
minute, Powers.
Of course. These are going to infuriate you too, because anyone who is in a healthy relationship and loves their spouse would think the same thing. Like, this is you're crazy to do this stupid stuff. You're crazy to do it.
It just shows me that you don't want to be with the man you're with.
Well, that, and it's very, very attention seeking, which men are not looking for attention seeking. Men are looking for respect. They're looking for a partner. They're looking for someone to be with them through it all. That's what men want. Men don't want a woman seeking and seeking and seeking attention.
The best advice I can give to either people in the relationship. If you're not married and you haven't known each other for a long time and you're just meeting someone, what kind of car are they driving? You're looking at me like, what are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Because if you have a Maserati and that's your car, you're going to be high maintenance. That is a high maintenance car. You can't just go to any oil change place and get that Maserati service. You're going to have to go to the main dealer that's not readily available for everyone everywhere.
Can't just run down to Express and get that knocked out. I see where you're going.
If you got that Toyota Camry,
That Accord.
those kind of cars, you're going to be able to understand and put things in perspective. But if you're driving around in a Toyota Corolla with a Maserati taste,
Yeah, that
you're
could be a
driving that
problem.
Toyota Corolla, but you acting like you got Maserati money.
That's even a bigger problem.
That's a red flag.
It's a huge red flag. I like that. No, it does kind of tell you maintenance wise, hey, how high maintenance is this going to be?
Look at their shoes. How often do you really look at a man's shoes?
No one looked
Shawshank.
No one looked at Andy Dufresne's shoes. That's why he busted on out of prison. Wore the warden's shoes. All right, we gotta go. Any final thoughts?
I love you.
I love you too. God, we love you. We are so thankful I know we say it often, but this is yours, and we're just thankful that you've trusted us with it, and we trust you to do whatever you want with it. We will continue to obey you and do what you want forever. And God, we just want to pray over every person, people who are walking through things, people who are seeing difficulties. If any of these things that we talked about today are relevant in someone's life, God, I just pray that you open up the doors to have a conversation, and that you'll be in the midst of the conversation, help people navigate through this to be able to have the purpose and the life and the marriage and the relationship that you wanted them to have, because that's who you are and you are good, and we love you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Play ball.